Growth Management and the Roles of State, Regional, and Local Government by John M. DeGrove and Patricia M. Metzger. Growth management focuses on the need to plan rationally to accommodate the impacts of growth. Growth management will only occur in a comprehensive or coordinated fashion if the government takes the lead in establishing an integrated framework with the private sectors, citizens, civic, and special interest groups. State approaches to growth management planning. The growth management systems of the 1970s emerged out of public concern for environmental and natural resources. In the late 1970s through the 1980s, this concern has been associated with transportation planning. In the 1980s and the 1990s, they have broadened their scope to include a quality of life focus and environmental concerns, which include protection of farm, forest lands, and natural areas. In addition, concern for providing an adequate supply of affordable housing and economic development policies that promote growth where needed has resulted in different growth strategies than those of 1970s. What links and defines the new state, regional, local roles in each of these systems is consistency. State legislature formed the framework, and that mandated state, regional, and local plans be consistent with the goals and policies defined by the new system. In Oregon, every city and county must prepare a plan with implementing regulations that is acknowledged as consistent. In Florida, local government plans are deemed consistent once they are in compliance with the goals and policies of the state. Increasingly strong mandates in recent state growth management systems have precipitated compact urban development strategies designed to discourage urban sprawl. In 1973, statewide plan mandated the development of urban growth boundaries and decreed that all urban development would take place within those boundaries, and the rural countryside would be reserved for agricultural and forestry use. Two of the major components of state growth strategies are the following. First is the protection of rural landscapes, including farm and forest lands, wetlands, water recharge lands, and uplands that protect endangered species. Second is affordable housing strategies. State plan mandates that local government define the need for affordable housing and provide a mix of housing densities to achieve such a goal. Regional governance roles in recent growth management systems. The foremost role of regional governments in an integrated growth management system is the development of plans that establish regional goals and policies and identify regionally significant resources, natural, man-made, economic, and institutional. Regional governments review local plans for a variety of reasons. The purpose of regional review is to ensure local consideration of greater than local issues and to maintain a comprehensive and integrated growth policy framework. Regional councils review local plans for their compatibility with other local plans and for their consistency with regional plans. Technical assistance is to local governments is another regional role. Regional roles and responsibilities, particularly technical assistance, regional plan development, and local plan review, will require consistent and adequate funding for staff and facilities. Failure to function effectively at the regional level could diminish coordination between the state and local levels. Increased funding is associated with increased powers. Roles of local governments in integrated growth management systems. Regional and state roles in these new growth management systems leave the major task of implementing the system to local government. Each local government is responsible for adopting and implementing plans consistent with the state planning goals and standards. This role is demanding and requires months of staff time to prepare and implement a plan. Unfortunately, many local governments, often rural, do not possess the expertise or resources to conduct in-depth facility assessment and other required studies. These governments must depend on regional governments for technical assistance and on state governments for financial assistance. Public participation is an important part of the planning process. In fact, goal number one of Oregon's statewide planning is citizen involvement. This is to ensure the involvement of citizens in all phases of planning process. Growth management systems have had a major impact on intergovernmental relations and have expanded the roles and responsibilities of local, regional, and state levels of government. There is a need to bring all the stakeholders, public and private, together to negotiate a consensus on the necessary elements of an effective growth management system. With Georgia, Florida, and Oregon, joined by the other states such as Maryland and Virginia, that are likely to adopt growth management plans in the future, there appears to be a growing national consensus in support of this approach to balancing economic growth with the high quality of environmental life.